Open in many projects, shared project, project locking. So there is one more topic that remains undisclosed. This is work in multiple projects. The program has the ability to open several projects at the same time. How to work with it and how not to get confused in it, I will try to explain. Firstly, I have created two projects that are on the desktop. I will open one of them. Here is actually the project that we used during our course. At the top I have desktop project 1. Now I can open project number 2. Then it will be written at the top project 2. At the same time project number 1 is also open. Here I have collected all the sequences from two projects. I select a sequence and the project name changes at the top. Let's say that this sequence has the name project 2 and when it's open, its name will be project 1. The main thing is not to get confused. If you want to open one of the projects and click on Close Project, it will close the active project. And the active project is the one that is currently open on the timeline. It's worth nothing that we have a new Project 2 panel here. There is also a Project 1 panel. When we switch to the corresponding project, the name of the active project will change. And if we click on Close Project, the project that is currently active will close. At this point, there may be confusions. When you have Project 1 open, but there is Project 2, and if you click on Close Project, on Project 2, Project 1 will close. Next, that we should definitely note is the ability to create shared projects. Look, I'm going to close Project 1 now. You need to pay more attention in this moment. If I just close Project 2, I will close the Close panel. But it will remain open. And I can call the panel back from here, using Windows, Projects, Projects 2. So I can click on Close Project, or the same here. Finally, Project 2 is closed. But at the same time, I can import it into Project 1. I have several import options. We can import entire projects. It's when all the media sources are imported from this project, and the project is imported itself along with the editing sequences. Next, there is Import Selected Sequences. Here we can only import certain sequences and their linked source materials. Well, the last option that has appeared is Import as Shared Project. What is a shared project? Let's click on it, import, and see what it looks like. We have a folder with the name Project 2. If I click on it, the project will open itself. In fact, it's a link to another project. There is a number of advantages when you are working in a team. For example, you might have one supervisor that has links to all the other projects that other people are working on. There is also a very important point when working in a team that needs to be discussed. We have a small icon lock in the corner. It's the project is writable. If it's open, then I can overwrite this project. As you can see, I can activate it. This is an important point for those who work in a team and with a network. When another person opens my project, he will see it in a read mode. The lock will be closed, and he will see a message that the author of the project has forbidden him to overwrite this project. In principle, this function can be enabled by clicking on the lock. There is another function related to shared projects. We can create a shared project from the program. To do this, we need to right-click here and then go to New Item, Shared Project. We create it. The project was opened with a link to it. What can it be used for? In general, there used to be a strong limitation in actions. We could only work with one project, while in other editing systems a database was implemented. And you could use the media sources by opening them. Also, when the bins were closed, no RAM would be used. It was possible to work with large and massive projects, but in Premiere it wasn't possible to divide the project into some small components due to the fact that it worked with only one project. The shared project function and the opening of many projects is a really good opportunity to share the load on the PC when working on large projects. Here I have a project 1, in which we created this shared project. Then we will see that the Adobe Premiere Pro shared projects folder has appeared. There is the shared 01 folder inside it that we created earlier. As you can see, is the project log file next to it, and this is exactly the file that lets the program know whether this project protected or not. It often happens that the program is run. Can often happen. And if it freezes, we can just delete this file. Then the project will be free to edit, unlocked. This would be an easy defense if something went wrong and your project was closed. I should say about another important point. For example, I need to move a sequence from project 2 to a new shared project 1. I can drag and drop this file directly to another shared project. Look what happened. It imported the sequence with the empty folders. And the media sources are imported as invisible by default. They are imported as invisible in order to avoid generating too many entitles. So this function can be enabled here. Edit preferences, media, automatically hide depend clips. If the checkbox is enabled, then they will always be invisible by default, and vice versa. This is a very useful thing when you are transferring the pieces of editing from other projects. For example, it can be useful when someone collects different pieces of programs, and you collect the final part of it, and you just need to check this box so that your project panel doesn't turn into a big mess. So, they will be hidden. That's all I wanted to say about related projects.